Alright, Shalom. I am the brother Tasiyat, coming back with another video. But before I start off, I would like to give all praises and highest honor to the Most High Yahweh, Ba'asham Yahushai, Ba'asham Kakadash. I want to give double honor to my elder apostles and teachers of Great Millstone, and peace and salutation to the sincere Akyam across the world, who has spread this knowledge in truth and sincerity, and may the direction be upon your households. Khan Shalom. So today I want to make a video concerning the book of Daniel, chapter 2. Alright, it speaks about the dream of King Nebuchadnezzar, who was the king of the Babylonian Empire. Alright, and he basically had a dream of a statue, and a statue that he saw in his dream was representative for different kingdoms. Alright, now when he dreamed the dream, he actually forgot what he had dreamt. So he asked his counselors and things like that to give him the interpretation of the dream, and witches to give him the interpretation of the dream and what a dream was. But they could all not tell him what it was. Only Daniel, okay, to the spirit and power of Yahweh Ba'asham Yahushai, could tell him what a dream meant. So that is in short what this chapter is about. Okay, and let me see if I can grab a picture here. Then you can also have like an image in your mind. So the statue that he was dreaming about was something looking like this. In the left top corner, I clicked it, so it should be zooming in. Oh, sorry. Wait a minute. Let me see. Why is it taking so long, man? I'm just zooming like this. Anyway, it's like this statue. Alright? So we're just gonna read. Oh, look. We're just gonna read about it. And yeah, the statue is not really showing itself very good. But, oh, that was better. Okay, so you see it has a golden head, which is representative for the Babylonian Empire. It has a silver breast, torso and arms, which stands for the Medo-Persian Empire. Then it has a brass thigh, which is symbolically for the Grecian Empire, okay, the Greeks. Then it has legs of iron, which is the Roman Empire, okay. Then it has a mix of iron and clay at the toes and the feet, which is symbolically for the divided kingdoms which we are living in today. The revived Roman Empire, so to speak. Okay, so let's get into it. Daniel chapter 2 verse 1, titled The King's Forgotten Dream. And in the second year of the reign of Nebuchadnezzar, Nebuchadnezzar dreamed dreams. So remember, he was the king of the Babylonian Empire, wherewith his spirit was troubled, and his sleep brake from him. So he had trouble, sleeping, and he was worried in his mind, like, hey, what is this dream? Then the king commanded to call the magicians, and the astrologers, and the sorcerers, and the Chaldeans, for to shew the king his dreams. So they came and stood before the king. So the king was asking them to show him his dreams. And the king said unto them, I have dreamed a dream, and my spirit was troubled to know the dream. Then spake the Chaldeans to the king in Syriac, O king, live forever. Tell thy servants the dream, and we will shew thee the interpretation. The king answered and said to the Chaldeans, The thing is gone from me, so he forgot his dream. If ye will not make known unto me the dream, with the interpretation thereof, he shall be cut in pieces, and your houses shall be made a dunghill. So he told them, like, my dream, I forgot my dream, but I want you to tell me what I was dreaming about and the interpretation thereof, otherwise I'm going to cut you in pieces. Verse 6, But if ye shew the dream and the interpretation thereof, ye shall receive of me gifts and rewards and great honor. Therefore shew me the dream and the interpretation thereof. So they would get great rewards if they could show the dream and the meaning. They answered again and said, Let the king tell his servants the dream, and we will show the interpretation of it. The king answered and said, I know of certainty that you would gain the time, because ye see the thing is gone from me. But if ye will not make known unto me the dream, there is but one decree for you. For ye have prepared lying and corrupt words to speak before me, till the time be changed. Therefore tell me the dream, and I shall know that ye can shew me the interpretation thereof. So also showing you that all these sorcerers and things like that, they don't have the ultimate power, you know, on the left hand side with their witchcraft, you know, they don't always know and see everything. The most I can just block it. Verse 10. The Chaldeans answered before the king and said, There is not a man upon the earth that can shew the king's matter. Therefore there is no king, lord, nor ruler that asketh such things at any magician, or astrologer, or Chaldean. And it is a rare thing that the king required. So it's not very common for a king to ask a question like this concerning a dream. You know, concerning letting somebody else tell you what a dream is and the interpretation thereof, you know, without you telling them what you have dreamt. And there is none other that can shew it before the king, except the gods, whose dwelling is not with flesh. So this is where we're gonna grab a scripture, because it says here, gods, whose dwelling is not with flesh. But we know that Yahweh Bashem Yashai does dwell with flesh. He dwells with the Israelites. So this statement that the Chaldeans was giving is actually a false statement. So let me go here to Psalms 69 KJV. Let's grab a precept on it. Yeah, let me open the Bible Gateway. Alright. I'm gonna read verse 5. Psalms 96 verse 5. For all the gods of the nations are idols, but the Lord made the heavens. You see? So there are actual other so-called gods, because the word God means power. But these gods that these other nations, these heathens be worshipping, you know, most likely are just demons, are just spirits that, you know, have some type of power. And they pray to these spirits, they pray to these demons, which they call a god, you know, to get gain, to get money, to get a safe travel, to get protection, whatever, man. But the Most High is above all this, you know. So this is basically just folly, man, the idols that these natures be worshipping. So from there, let's go to Acts chapter 17, verse 24. To show you that the Most High, you know, is not in a temple made with hands. Acts 17 and 24. God that made the world and all things therein, seeing that he is Lord of heaven and earth, dwelleth not in temples made with hands. You see? So he is Lord of heaven and of the earth. Alright? The Most High Yahweh, the God of the Bible. Okay, Yahweh Bashem Yahushai. Now from there, let's go to 1 Corinthians chapter 3, verse 16 and 17. What is this? Let me just read the full chapter. Click it like this. Okay, 1 Corinthians 3, verse 16. Know ye not that ye are the temple of God, and that the Spirit of God dwelleth in you? Wait a minute, the Chaldeans said that, you know, the gods don't dwell with the flesh. But here it says, the Spirit of God dwelleth in you. You see, so the Most High Yahweh, His Spirit does dwell with the Israelites, with the flesh, you know, with the Israelites. Alright, so let's go back to Daniel chapter 2, verse 12. For this cause the king was angry and very furious. and commanded to destroy all the wise men of Babylon. And the decree went forth that the wise men should be slain. And they saw Daniel and his fellows to be slain. So the king wanted to kill all the so-called wise people of Babylon, and he also that included Daniel, which Daniel was an Israelite. Let me say it like this: Daniel was following the ways of Yahweh Bashem Yahushai, and he must have been from one of the 12 tribes of Israel, of course. Then Daniel answered with counsel and wisdom to Arioch, the captain of the king's guard, which was gone forth to slay the wise men of Babylon. He answered and said to Arioch, the king's captain, "Why is the decree so hasty from the king?" Then Arioch made the thing known to Daniel. So Daniel wanted to know, like, hey, what's going on? Why is the king trying to kill us now? Then Daniel went in and desired of the king that he would give him time, and that he would shew the king the interpretation. Then Daniel went to his house and made a thing known to Hananiah, Mishael, and Azariah, his companions. So he told them, basically like, hey, the king is trying to kill us, but, Lord willing, I will be able to give the interpretation of the dream of the king. That they would desire mercies of the Most High of heaven concerning the secret, that Daniel and his fellows should not perish with the rest of the wise men of Babylon. So they, if I'm correct, start praying to the Most High to protect them, and that the Most High would have mercy upon them, that they would not be killed by the king, murdered by the king. Now comes the point. The secret is revealed to Daniel. Then was the secret revealed unto Daniel in a night vision. Then Daniel blessed the power of heaven. Daniel answered and said, "Blessed be the name of the Most High Yahweh forever and ever, for wisdom and might are his." Okay, so Daniel actually saw what Nebuchadnezzar was dreaming. Okay, and he got the interpretation of the dream. Verse 21. And he changed the times and the seasons. He removed kings and set up kings. He giveth wisdom unto the wise, and knowledge to them that know understanding. Alright, so from there, let's go to, let me see, John 3 and 27. John 3 verse 27. John answered and said, "A man can receive nothing except it be given him from heaven." So except with the Most High Yahweh, Bashem Yahushai's approval, you cannot get anything. Also, not the interpretation of the dream, but the Most High gave it to Daniel, you see. So without the Most High's approval, you cannot get anything, man. So from there, let me see, I also got Psalms 75 verse 6 and 7. It says here, let me read the full chapter. Psalm 75 verse 6. For promotion cometh neither from the east, nor from the west, nor from the south. So it doesn't come from any random direction. But the Most High is the judge. He put it down one and set it up another. The Most High is the one that gives you promotion, that can put you high, that can put you low, so to speak. He's the one that has power to kill you, or has power to to keep you alive. Like in the case of Daniel. How did he keep him alive? Well, we're gonna read about it further, but through giving him the interpretation of the dream that King Nebuchadnezzar had, because if he did not have the interpretation, they would all be killed, So that is also a way of the Most High Yahweh Bashem Yahushai showing mercy and his protection. So this is 1 Samuel chapter 6. Sorry, 1 Samuel chapter 2 verse 6. The Lord killeth and maketh alive. He bringeth down to the grave and bringeth up. The Lord maketh poor and maketh rich. He bringeth low and lifteth up. You see, so the Most High is still the one that is holding the strings. Going back to Daniel chapter 2 verse 22. He revealed the deep and secret things. He knoweth what is in the darkness, and the light dwelleth with him. You see? And there's a way of him to reveal certain things. You know, he can reveal his secrets with his servants, the prophets. You know, like it also says here at Amos 3 verse 7. Amos 3 verse 7. Surely the Lord power will do nothing, but he revealed his secret unto his servants, the prophets. So through the prophets, you know, which Daniel was also a prophet, through the prophets, he reveals secrets, you know. Verse 23. I thank thee and praise thee, O thou power of my fathers, who has given me wisdom and might, and has made known unto me now what we desired of thee. For thou hast now made known unto us the king's matter. Therefore Daniel, the king's matter, is the dream that he wanted to hear, and the interpretation. Therefore Daniel went in unto Arioch, whom the king had ordained to destroy the wise men of Babylon. He went and said thus unto him, Destroy not the wise men of Babylon. Bring me in before the king, and I will shew unto the king the interpretation. So he was like, wait, before you destroy them, don't do this, you know. Let me go to the king, and I will give him what he desired, what he asked for. Then Arioch brought in Daniel before the king in haste, and said thus unto him, I have found a man of the captives of Judah. So there were slaves actually there. You know, they were in captivity, let me say like that. And he was from the tribe of Judah, you see, Daniel, that will make known unto the king the interpretation. The king answered and said to Daniel, whose name was Belteshazzar, Art thou able to make known unto me the dream which I have seen, and the interpretation thereof? If I'm correct, Belteshazzar is just another title for King Nebuchadnezzar, you know, speaking of the same person, if I'm correct. So he was asking like, you know the interpretation of my dream? Then Daniel answered, Daniel answered in the presence of the king and said, The secret which the king had demanded cannot the wise men, the astrologers, the magicians, the soothsayers show unto the king. So no people that call themselves wise or are busy with magic, you know, or are busy with astrology, you know, could give this interpretation to Daniel. But there is a God in heaven that revealeth secrets, and maketh known to the king Nebuchadnezzar what shall be in the latter days. Thy dream and the visions of the head upon thy bed are these. And I'm not going to read it right now, but if you go to Genesis chapter 40, you know, Genesis chapter 40, and you read from verse 1 until 8, you read verse 1 and 8, you're going to see that the Most High also gave to Joseph the interpretation of the dreams of the baker and what was it again? And the butler. You know, actually I can read it, man. Genesis 40 and 1. And it came to pass after these things that the butler of the king of Egypt and his baker had offended their lord the king of Egypt. So they was locked up. And then they had dreams, and Joseph was locked up with them. Now jumping to verse 8. And they said unto him, We have dreamed a dream. So the butler and the baker had dreamed, and there is no interpreter of it. And Joseph said unto them, Do not interpretations belong to the Most High? Yahweh Bashem Yashai, tell me them, I pray you. So he showed them like, Amen, my power does know the interpretation of your dream, and he can reveal it unto me. You know, that is what the Most High can do, man. That is what Daniel said here in verse 28. But there is a God in heaven that revealeth secrets. Okay, and one of the secrets that he can reveal is the interpretation of a dream. As for thee, O king, and one thing to know is that not always every dream that you dream has a deeper meaning. Sometimes it's just a dream because you have had a busy day before, and you are not dreaming all types of things mixed up in each other. You know, it doesn't necessarily have to be spiritual meaning. That's also what the scripture says. I'm not sure where it is in the book of Sirach. You know, multitude of business. Let me grab it real quick. before you start thinking that every dream that you have now has a deep meaning or something. It's not like that. Or here, Ecclesiastes 5 and 3. For a dream cometh through the multitude of business. You see? So that's the point. If you have a lot of things on your mind the day before and you go to sleep with all those thoughts, you know, and you dream something, the chances high that it was because of your thoughts, you know, not necessarily something deep. Daniel chapter 2 verse 30. But as for me, this secret is not revealed to me for any wisdom that I have more than any living, but for their sakes that shall make known the interpretation to the king, and that thou mightest know the thoughts of thy heart. You see? The king's dream. Thou, O king, sawest, and behold, a great image. Remember what it was? The image that I just showed you. Keep this in mind. Like I told you in the start from the video. You see? Reading on. This great image, whose brightness was excellent, stood before thee, and the form thereof was terrible. The image head was of fine gold. Like you see here, his head is of gold, which is symbolically for the Babylonian Empire. His breast and his arms of silver, his belly and his thighs of brass, his legs of iron, his feet part of iron and part of clay. You see? Thou sawest that a stone was cut out without hands, which smote the image upon his feet, that were of iron and clay, and brake them to pieces. And that stone is talking about Yahushua. He will be ultimately coming to take down this whole last rulership of Esau, you know. Then was the iron, the clay, the brass, the silver, and the gold broken to pieces together, and became like the chaff of the summer threshing floors, and the wind carried them away, that no place was found for them. Why? Because when Yahushua comes, he will make an end to all rulerships of all heathens. You know, there will never be a kingdom anymore that is ruled by the heathens. Only for the Israelites is coming next, you know, and that will be for eternity. Okay, Yahushua's kingdom. And the stone, and in Yahushua's kingdom, you will have the elite government, the 144,000, okay, those will be the governing body of the kingdom. You know, those are joint heirs with Yahushua. And the stone that smote the image became a great mountain. Now, a mountain is also symbolically for a government. Okay, something they have is called a summit meeting, if you don't know it. Summit meeting, and that is what these you know, these so-called highly government people have. But a summit is also the top of a mountain. Okay. Let me show you. Yes, so this is a summit meeting, but the actual summit is the top of a mountain. You see, this is the summit, the top of a mountain. So that's just one clue to show you that a mountain oftentimes in the scripture is symbolically for a government. Okay, and fill the whole earth. Now the interpretation, Babylon, the first kingdom. This is the dream, and we will tell the interpretation thereof before the king. Thou, O king, art the king of kings, for the God of heaven hath given thee a kingdom, power, and strength, and glory. And wheresoever the children of men dwell, the beasts of the field and the fowls of the heaven had he given into thine hand, and had made thee ruler over them all. Thou art this head of gold. You see, so Nebuchadnezzar, his empire is basically this head of gold. Okay, from there, let me see. Let me go to Jeremiah. Jeremiah 28, verse 14. Salakia. It's thirsty as well. Jeremiah 28 verse 14. For thus saith the Lord of hosts, the power of Israel, which is Yahweh, Bashem Yahushai. I have put a yoke of iron upon the neck of all these nations, that they may serve Nebuchadnezzar, king of Babylon, and they shall serve him, and I have given him the beasts of the field also. That is what we just read here. In verse 38, you see? Now, verse 39, titled Medo-Persia and Greece. Okay, and it tells you the vision clearly. And after thee shall arise another kingdom inferior to thee, and another third kingdom of brass, which shall bear rule over all the earth. Okay, so those are the Medo-Persian Empire and the Greek Empire. Now it speaks about Rome. Daniel 2 and 40. And the fourth kingdom shall be strong as iron, for as much as iron breaketh in pieces and subdueth all things, and as iron that breaketh all these, shall it break in pieces and bruise. Why? Because the Roman Empire was very powerful, a very strong empire. It was also diverse from the other empires because it was ruled by different Caesars, just like how you have nowadays in America, in Europe. You have, let me just say, in America you have presidents every year now and then. That is also what they had back in the Roman Empire. You can read about it also in Daniel's chapter 7, but also in First Maccabees chapter 1 and chapter 8. You can read a bit about it. Chapter 8, verse around 13 until 16. That they have a ruler, and then after a certain time another ruler comes. They don't have like a monarchy where a king rules and then the kingdom is going to his son. The prince, and then he becomes a king. That is not what the Roman Empire had. Okay? And they had a very strong military power, just like nowadays, like America has, Verse 41. And whereas thou sawest the feet and toes, part of potter's clay and part of iron, the kingdom shall be divided. Okay, that is what we see nowadays, man. Even though this kingdom is being ruled by the so-called white man, this society, by actually biblical Edomites, known as the biblical Edomites, as Esau. You have the white man that is Russia, you have the white man that is America, but they are fighting against each other, you see. So the scripture also says that Satan against Satan cannot stand. Something in the book of Matthew, roughly paraphrasing it, okay, showing you if a kingdom is not stable because it's fighting within itself, it's not gonna last any longer, But there shall be in it of the strength of the iron, for as much as thou sawest the iron mixed with miry clay, and as the toes of the feet were part of iron and part of clay, so the kingdom shall be partly strong and partly broken. That's why some parts of this society are ruled by the white man. Have in Europe, for example, certain countries have a high ability, like Holland. You have Germany, for example, and some other countries are not that strong military, but also financially, like for example Portugal, for example, So verse 43. And this is actually also what you can read in Revelation chapter 13 and 17 about the beast with 7 heads and 10 horns. Those 7 heads are, basically the Greek Empire, the Roman Empire, Germania Minor, Germania Major, the Spanish, the French, and the British. Wait, is that 7? Greek, Roman, Germania Minor, Germania Major, French, Spanish, British. Yes, 7. And those are actually all the rulerships of the Edomites, the so-called white men. Okay. And whereas thou sawest iron mixed with miry clay, they shall mingle themselves with the seed of men, but they shall not cleave one to another, even as iron is not mixed with clay. So they are not really going along each other, For example, with the alphabet people, with the multiple, genders, things like that. Some countries are with it, other countries are very much against it, like Russia, for example. But they are still Edomites, This is still their time of rulership. Okay, iron doesn't mix with clay. That is how these different countries are not mixing well with each other, man. They're clashing. Okay, and ultimately Yahushai is gonna be the one that will bring this whole society down, man. We're just waiting upon him. Now the last verses, the divine kingdom. Daniel 2 verse 44. And in the days of these kings shall the power of heaven set up a kingdom which shall never be destroyed, you see? And that is the kingdom of heaven, which will be upon planet earth, physically, literally. And that is the kingdom of Yahushai. Okay? And the kingdom shall not be left to other people, but it shall break in pieces and consume all these kingdoms, and it shall stand forever. For as much as thou sawest that a stone was cut out of the mountain without hands, and that it break in pieces the iron, the brass, the clay, the silver, and the gold, that is what Yahushua is going to do. He was that stone, remember? He is that stone. He's going to bring down all these different rulerships and make an end to all the heathens that have ever ruled, because his kingdom will be forever upon this planet earth. The great power had made known to the king what shall come to pass hereafter, and the dream is certain, and the interpretation thereof sure. Daniel promoted. Then the king Nebuchadnezzar fell upon his face and worshipped Daniel, and commanded that they should offer an oblation and sweet odors unto him. Remember, in verse 6, the king promised, but if ye shew the dream and the interpretation thereof, ye shall receive of me gifts and rewards and great honor. Therefore shew me the dream and interpretation thereof. So that is what Daniel did. So he did get his reward for it also, through the spirit and power of Yahweh Bashem Yahushai, of course. Verse 47. The king answered unto Daniel and said, of a truth it is that your power is a power of powers, and the Lord of kings, and the revealer of secrets, seeing thou couldst reveal this secret. Then the king made Daniel a great man, and gave him many gifts, and made him ruler over the whole province of Babylon, and the chief of the governors over all the wise men of Babylon. You see, so that is how much he was promoted, the chief of the governors of all the wise men of Babylon. And remember, he was of the captivity of the Judites. He was just a slave, so to speak, just a low life. Okay. Then Daniel requested of the king, and he set Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego over the affairs of the province of Babylon. But Daniel sat in the gate of the king. So that's the power of the Most High, man. He can make the Israelites literally captives, low lives, and he can establish them on top. Just like Joseph, in the time of Egypt. He was basically bought as a slave, and he became the governor of Egypt. If I'm correct. He was just in name only, Pharaoh was higher than him. You see? So that's the power of Yahweh Bashem Yahushai, man. Now I hope this video was edifying. So with that, I want to give all praises and the highest honor to the Most High Yahweh, Bashem Yahushai, Bashem Makakadash. I want to give double honor to my elder apostles and teachers of Great Millstone, and peace and salutation to the sincere Akyam across the world who has spread his knowledge and truth and sincerity. And may the election be upon your households. God Shalom.